Okay, what club's that, James?
8-iron.
Yeah, I'm looking at the grip, I'm looking at the basics here, and the setup angles are really good. I do think you should be a little bit closer to it as well and just relax the hands just slightly, just to create this angle here.
Okay.
From your arms dropping to the shaft. You want to feel like there's a sort of bowl there, it's quite good. So I want you to drop the club now. Keep those angles because it matches quite nicely with you when you touch the top of your kneecaps. That's your practice position. So when you're in a room with no club and you want to rehearse a golf move, your takeaway, this is how you're set up to create it. Arms just hanging is where you would hold the club. So you've got to remember now with that forward bend you have with your spine, place your hands on your shoulders. I want you to think of the low ceiling here and a rod stuck to your back going into the ground. So when you make a turn in a second, you've got to be aware of the loading, the pressure building here. So when you make a turn, think of this right hip and right shoulder going behind you as you keep your arm on the ball. Can you feel everything engaging right away? Here, that hip turning, keep going, and your lats engaging. Here you are. Can you feel that a little lower? Now this is your takeaway position with the body. So if you hold it there, be aware of how this has turned more now than perhaps normal feeling, and how your right shoulder here is going behind you. I want you just to lower your arms and notice if you form a grip, how your right arm is on top of the left. This is what I was kind of illustrating when we met first time about it.
Sure.
How it's on top of the left. That's your takeaway. Now if you're holding the club, you'll notice that the club shaft will be more on this position with the head here. You can practice your takeaway with no club doing this move, because after this I don't really care what happens to the club. You've got your shoulders turning on a steeper angle, the correct angle around your spine. Remember, this will feel like it's a little lower. If I step into where you are here, what you've got to avoid is the tail wagging the dog, and you've got that little tendency, if you're a bit far away, to bring the club in. When the club comes in like this, can you see how your shoulders will turn too horizontally?
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's only one direction for the arms and club to go. The weight will kind of move to the outside, a sort of straightening of the legs, very common. And then you can see, well, I'm either going to get stuck hitting fats and flip shots, or I'm going to come over. And you'll not turn through very well because you're saving that pull with a sort of hold off. So we want to try and make sure in that first move of the takeaway that our shoulders turn on the right angle, the correct angle, to the top of the spine. We're bent forward, remember, so it's going to be a steeper move of the shoulders compared to the hips at the base. When you make this turn here, thinking of your right hip turning and right shoulder, this left one will feel like it's going down, putting pressure on right knee and instep. That's only to there.
And do you get the feeling that your right knee is actually fixed, or is there any?
There's a little bit of movement, but I like the feeling of the relationship between the right knee and instep.
Okay.
So it doesn't do this. We're comfortably, slightly bent, supporting our weight on the balls of our feet, through our kneecaps, up through the back of our shoulders here. But there's a little bit of movement, but it's something you shouldn't really have to think of. It's kind of fixed, but fixed is quite static sounding.
Okay.
With no movement at all. But there's a little bit. If you're just aware of the pressure point being the right knee and instep for the load, that sort of, that opposing force that you're turning into, you don't need to worry about going beyond here, because I don't really care. You've already set a good angle. Everything's working together. Your right hip will carry on turning, sending your arms up here. So you can see when you hold a club, mimicking this move with a club now, you're going to turn back and get here. You carry on turning. This will set in here somewhere. You'll feel that the right hand will be above the left, and your left hand, from being here, will be less cupped.
Yeah.
So let's just practice this move. I want you to just feel like you're making a couple of these moves here.
Okay.
And then the set to our next stage, which will be there.
And if I feel that I'm losing pressure on my right foot and my right knee, is that a sign that actually, in fact, there's too much movement?
Yeah, that'll be a sign of you recognizing your old move.
So as long as I can keep that pressure,
That's it.
not fixed.
Not
Because
fixed.
fixed isn't good. Dynamic.
And this
good.
is what we
Fluid.
looked at in our first time together, where that little hip bump I mentioned, remember?
Yeah.
A little hip bump to allow for the right hand lower on the club than the left. So in order for that to work, you've got to turn your right hip and feel that going down. There you are. Perfect. So you're turning this. There you are. Keep turning it. And then you can feel, can you see already the back of the left arm will be in a better position.
Mm-hmm.
And then the club will set here. This is only how far I want you to go at the moment.
Okay.
You're doing it with eyes open, no club, no distractions. Feeling like the hands are traveling down a channel, if you like, just until beyond the knee. Perfect. So you'll feel this go down.
Is it going down?
That's it. What it will do is you're going to feel everything engaging here as well.
Yep.
I want to give people the feeling that they should experience, as well as understand how the position is better. You need to feel the correct move to be physically in the right move. Does that make sense? So it's not just a playing partner observing, oh, you're taking it inside. You need to be steeper here for shallower here. Well, I know that.
Okay.
But how do I do it?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So that feeling, that's your raw stage 1 blueprint. That's what you're going to use as your guide for me adding the club back. Go. Keep going. There you are. That's the takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, there you are. There, that's it. Don't go any further than that just yet. I just want you to feel that this is the key, one of the keys. There you are, right knee and instep. There you are. There you are. That's it. Eyes on the ball. Mm-hmm. Keep turning, can you feel everything restricting now? Keep turning that right hip. There you go. Can you feel it's harder, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So keep going. So the momentum would take us here in movement, and that's quite a good top of the back swing.